Hey guys, Krystal Dahaba here for a very late Friday art night. Most of you will probably end up watching this tomorrow. I have to apologize. I had recorded one video that I thought I was going to release today, and then unfortunately I didn't finish the project and didn't get to finish recording the second part of the video. And then I didn't want to kind of show it to you guys half finished. The project is still ongoing. It's just that, like I said, I didn't get to finish it. I need to put a layer of paint on it, and then I need to wait for that to dry, and then I need to do some more paint, and then I have to wait for that to dry. So it's going to take, I think, a few different recordings before I finally get it right. So, and then I had gotten my Miss Little Piggy pigments in the mail yesterday, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm gonna record a video with those. And unfortunately, I realized last night, after a couple failed attempts, if you can see my really messy fingers here, of pouring the piggy pigments, which I still have sitting over here because they're just so pretty and they're inspiring, at least in the colors and everything. But I had a couple failed attempts. I realized I did not have the proper pouring medium and decided I needed to go out and buy some stuff. So I did, and lo and behold, I show up at Michael's today, and they had all this Christmas stuff out. Now, I'm not like a huge Christmas person. Like, I love Christmas, but normally I'm just like, yeah, you know, it's this holiday, everybody spends their money, but I love ornaments. I love the decorations. I love the spirit of Christmas. I just don't like gift buying for people. call me stingy or Scroogey or whatever you want to call it. But I guess that's what I have to be. But yeah, no, I love the decorations. I love festivity. I love like all of that. I just don't like gift shopping. I don't like, even though I'm a very good wrapper, I don't like wrapping gifts. I guess there's a lot of things about Christmas I don't love, but there's just so many things about it that I do. So, of course, while I was there, I found these really pretty glass bulbs that I'm gonna paint and decorate. And then I found some really cool wooden stars that I'm gonna paint. And I've got some beautiful glitter and some other beautiful glitter. And so I'm gonna make some stars, and I found some other special little treasures that I'm not gonna tell you guys about because I don't want you guys to know until I surprise you with another Christmas themed video. And you're gonna be like, Krystal, I thought you didn't like Christmas. And then I'm gonna laugh because I love it. I just don't love all the shopping, all the hecticness. But you know, I have a feeling this Christmas is gonna be really different. I mean, I'm sure we'll still see some family and all of that, but I don't really know like what the format of the holiday will be. Will we still like all get together? We normally have a big Christmas affair at our house, and my mother-in-law's house, who lives across the street from us, and we normally do, you know, Christmas Eve at her house, and then we do Christmas Day at my house, and then we go and do the day after Christmas at my sister-in-law's house in the morning. And I just can't imagine with COVID and everything the way it is right now that we're going to be doing very much of that, or maybe we will. I don't really know. It's funny, like when this whole COVID thing first started, I was like, yeah, we got this down. We're home. We're safe. We're good. And then it's like it's still ongoing. Okay, now what are we gonna do? I'll never forget like when we left work on like Friday before everybody shut everything down. We actually left on a Thursday, and that Friday was going to be our work from home trial. Like we were going to see what kind of issues we might run into, what kind of, I can't get the silver thin enough, what kind of issues we might run into, what kind of problems we might have. And it was all just like a plan for our work from home. And so we all took our stuff, we all went home, and we never went back again. And so this year has just been super interesting and confusing. I'm gonna grab some wax paper. And I'm sure like we're not the only people experiencing that. I know other people are feeling like this is such a weird year, and it's got its ups and its downs. Hold on, let me rip this paper. It's had its ups and its downs. I mean, a lot of ups for us in our family. I mean, I get to be home with my kids and I don't have to commute, and I'm saving a lot of money not having to commute. And so there's that. And then there's so many downs. I mean, just the people and, you know, suffering and all of that. So it's just been a weird year. So like I said, I don't know what to really expect from Christmas, and even I guess I'm jumping the gun. Like I don't even know what to expect from Thanksgiving. So if you and your family have plans, I'd totally love to hear about it. So see what you're doing, what you're not doing, how you're handling the whole social distancing and maybe out of town family. What you're doing about masks. Like, are you gonna, if you're gonna have out of town family, like, are you gonna wear masks? Like, it is just such a strange situation to be in. And of course, then we've got this crazy political environment that we're in. And I'm just ready to I'm ready for New Year's. Forget Christmas, forget Thanksgiving, forget all of it. Can we just bring on the new year? So right now I'm getting a very, a lot thinner than I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be a little bit more opaque. So it's probably going to take me a few coats to get this on. But I am getting, this is the Deco Art metallic berry on my glass bulb here. And I have to be very careful because, of course, I would be the person to drop this beautiful glass bulb. And so this is going to take a while too. So you're going to be in some like in-between projects with me tonight. So I'm going to have to get a few coats of this on. I'm going to have to get, and then I'm going to have to set it aside because you know how you have to let it dry and then you can get your next coat on. So you guys will see some of this, and then you'll have to see some of it later. But it's good to be here. It's been a very long week. Good week, but long. We had a makeup soccer game yesterday for our 5 and 6-year-old team. And that was, it was fun in this, like, all the kids were somehow magically all on a sugar high at the same time or something. I don't know if their parents didn't give them dinner or what the situation was, but we had kids like doing cartwheels in the field and like spinning. They were like ballerina dancers. And now my husband and I coach. So it's always more fun for us to kind of see this. And then we're not coaching our own kids, we're coaching our niece and nephew. And so it's like, oh, thank God these aren't my kids. And they're not the ones I would be like, I remember having my kids at that age and being so dreadfully embarrassed when mine was the one like playing with butterflies or picking the grass or sitting down or doing anything other than, playing soccer. So I'm just like, yay, I'm so glad these aren't mine, but they're cute no less. And then of course we had these crazy coaches. So at the level these kids are at, we have what's called a on-field parent. Now we're not referees. We're not there to do anything but instruct. teach. And so this guy's out there. Of course, we're all volunteers, right? But this guy's out there in his like soccer outfit with his soccer shoes, you know, his cleats and his shin guards. And I'm like, okay, this is gonna be weird. And so he's out there all decked out like he is just having the time of his life. And then he breaks out his whistle. And then that's when it all started to go downhill for me, because I don't like when volunteer coaches get their purpose confused with volunteer referees. We don't have referees for 6-year-olds because we don't need them. The kids don't know anything. You're out there to teach them. They can't really do anything deliberately. Like they're now, like there's egregious like handballs and stuff. Like if a kid like bends over in the middle of the field and picks up a ball, you're gonna call handball on that. But this guy was like blowing his whistle, white ball, blue score. And I'm like, dude, do you know where you are right now? So anyway, I am not really happy with the way this medium is just pouring on here. So I'm gonna try something. And I'm probably going to end up regretting it, but first I'm going to try to put a little bit more pouring medium in here. There we go. That's a little bit. Oh, excuse the dogs. They are so pent up with energy. I don't know why, because it was beautiful this afternoon, and so I decided, okay, taking the dogs out. I'm going to get them outside. We'll get some energy burned off. I think what I'm going to do is wash this bad boy off, and I'm going to actually just only paint half of it. I'll be right back. All right, so this time I'm going to be smart. I'm not going to try to pick it up and paint it all at once, and I think I have my paint at a better consistency. So I'm just going to paint like one side of it. Try not to move it. I was thinking it would have been really cool to have some sort of stand to prop this on while I was painting it, but I couldn't find anything at Michael's. So anyway, back to the soccer. So this guy's out there and he's like, blue ball, white ball. And he was like trying to put the ball on the line, and I'm like, you realize you're a coach of 6 and 5-year-olds, right? I mean, I just want to ensure that you actually have the wherewithal to know where you are. That's what I'm thinking in my head. Of course, my real response is all smiles and sarcasm. So it was a fun night. Ultimately, you know, he made himself, I think, look like kind of an idiot. And I've been coaching, like I said, this in this league here in Stafford where I live for like almost, my husband and I combined, like over 20 years, right? So a long time, and we know what's worth arguing over and what's not. Most of the time, nothing is worth arguing over, but when people start like acting like their kids are in the pros and they've got to have whistles and they've got to be referees and they're calling handballs and they're wearing cleats, and it's kind of time to put them a little bit in their place. So at one point, you know, my kids are setting up for a kick-in. Now at this age they don't do throw-ins, so if you're not familiar with American soccer or, you know, football as other places call it, then when the ball goes out of bounds, then the ball is then thrown in the older leagues and the professionals, but at a little kid's age they kick them in, because the little kids they need to really learn to use their feet. They need to get their foot on the ball, they need to get the touches, they need to get that experience, and they can't do that if they're picking the ball up. All right, now that is really a lot. Now it's very light. It's a lot more of what I was looking for, but I think now if I just come back and do another coat in a little while, it'll be better. So I'm just going to move this over here. And I think instead of trying to do it two different ways, I'm just going to start like this, and then my life will be better. But anyway, so they have to do, at this age, they have to do kick-ins because they need to get their foot on the ball. They need to learn how to control their foot on the ball, and we call them touches. So they need to get as many touches with their feet as possible, and that can't happen if they're picking the ball up. Also, at this age, they get confused, and they don't really know where the touch line is, which is the side of the field. You have your goal lines and you have your touch lines. So the touch lines are on the side of the field, and then the goal lines are over by the goal. So they don't always really understand, sorry for the dogs, where the goal lines are and where the touch lines are. So you don't want them to just kind of randomly pick up the ball in the middle of a game and then end up getting kicked or hurt or otherwise confused or upset or embarrassed. So we do kick-ins. Well, anyway, so my team is doing a kick-in, and I'm just going to call him Mr. Whistleface. Mr. Whistleface decided to blow his whistle and say, "Let's play." And I'm like, and my kid was about to, not my kid, but my player was about to kick the ball in because, hey, he heard that whistle blow. And I said to my kid, and I said it kind of loud, I was like, look, he is not a referee. There are no referees in this game, okay? There are only coaches on this field. And right now, all I need is for you to do what I say. I don't need you to look at anyone else. I don't need you to think about anyone else. You just need to listen to me and do what I say and be part of your team. And after that, Mr. Whistleface did not blow his whistle one more time for the rest of the game. And I was like, score! So I felt like I had won some sort of asshole prize for being the loudest jerk. But you know what? Sometimes you just have to state what's on your mind. So anyway, now I am moving on to these beautiful little stars. And originally I was thinking of painting them gold, but when I found the this Caribbean blue glitter and then this iridescent sugar glitter, I was like, nope, painting it silver. So let me grab another brush. I'm trying to find the best paintbrush. I have a lot of them are in the wash, unfortunately, because I've been painting so much, which is fun and fine, but I should really probably not leave them sitting in the cleaner jar and actually take them out of there and dry them off. So we're going to paint this a very light silver to start out. I don't know if anybody uses this Deco Art paint, but it is really pretty. I mean, you can use it without a pouring medium. It's just you get a little bit of streaks and stripes in it. Or you can use it with the pouring medium. You still get the streaks if you don't put enough medium in it, but it makes it a little more iridescent. A sugar monster coming down the stairs right now as we speak. My 10-year-old is like, ooh, she's talking about soccer. So before I go, excuse you, Glory. So before I go and I paint, the other one with silver, I want to try to do a heavier base coat first and see what that looks like. I have so many of these little stars, and now I bought a Cricut, so I can actually cut more if I want to. Oh yeah, I should totally have done this first on both of them, and then maybe use the pouring medium for the second coat and the third coat. But yeah, I was very excited. I found the Cricut. I had a 20% off coupon for Michael's today, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm buying the Cricut. There's a lot of things that I've been wanting to buy, like vinyl decals and stuff, and I'm like, why can't I just make my own? Eventually it'll be cheaper. It might start out a little more expensive, but then eventually it'll turn out to be a much cheaper process. I'm gonna go ahead and paint the silver over this one, the full silver. All right, Monster, what do you want?
I'm just putting my hand in the camera. I'm now
Don't knock over my paint.
I won't. I'm famous now.
You're famous now, huh?
Ow.
My 10-year-old thinks her hand is going to be recognizable by all.
Oh my god, I'm famous. I just got a shout out. Oh my god.
All right, so I've got my...
Okay, my hand's even more famous.
Yeah,
I'm literally gonna be a superstar. Literally a superstar.
that is Clarissa.
I think they already know who I am.
Well, just in case they're new to my channel, now they know who you are for real. They'll really, truly get to know your hand.
My hand is famous now.
So I'm just going to try to get the sides of this. I don't want any clumpy clumps on the back because I'm going to paint the front and the back. I'm only going to put the embellishments, the glitter and stuff on one side. But I am not wanting the other two clump. Now I'm going to go ahead and do this on top of here. Yeah, that worked out a lot better. Putting just the main paint on first rather than using the pouring medium paint. I was worried this would be so thick that all you would see were brush strokes, but it looks like it's coming out nicely. Minus whatever these little clumpy clumps are that I keep finding. I don't know if you can be famous for your hand.
But it's gonna be the most famous hand in the whole entire world. It's the only hand that you'll see in these videos. So if
The only hand you'll see in these videos?
you get famous,
What about my hands?
your hand won't get famous.
My hands won't get famous?
Yeah.
Mm.
Because everything that we can show.
Oh, I see. I see.
So I could put my hands on this, which they can see, and my hands are famous now. Or this, my hands are famous now.
Okay, scooch.
Or this, my hands
Yeah,
are
don't play
famous.
with that. That's part of my ornament here.
I know I made an ornament last year. I made one for you.
So I'm going to do the same thing with this berry that I did
A
with...
berry.
Shh, now you're just being loud and annoying. So I'm going to do the same thing with this berry that I did with the silver, and I'm going to paint just a layer of the berry over it. That's so pretty. I love making things with my hands. So on the way home from Michael's today, I called my mother-in-law and I was like, I bought a cricket. Don't tell TJ, that's my husband's name. Oh, she's like, you're gonna get in trouble. I'm like, no, not if you don't tell him. Of course, I told him because he's been making these hats recently, really cool hats. Like he's buying the hats pre-made, but he's been doing, what are those? Patches, like making those patches for them, and then like putting them on the hats that he finds. And he's been, of course, wearing them because he's like, I can never find a hat that fits like just perfectly, that has everything I like about it on it, like whether it's the patch, whether it's the fit of the hat, you know, etc. He can never really find that. And so when he found this one hat that fit perfectly, he ordered a plain one in like a few different of the same color, and then he got different patches and he made them and he sewed them on, or he ironed some of them on, however he did it. And they look really nice. So I was like, hey, you know, you can actually do that with the Cricut. You can make your own patches and sign and sew them on or transfer them on, or however you want to do it. So I sold it to him that way. And so far we're still married, so I think it worked. All right. Go back to this guy. Now, ultimately, what I'm planning to do with these glass balls is I'm going to get them fully painted, opaque painted, so that way you can't see. I'm just going to get a lot more paint on here, so you can't see through the glass so much. And then from there, I am going to do some mandalas on the front of them, and kind of some snowflake patterns. So I thought that would be really pretty. I'm not 100% sure what colors yet, but just looking at this berry, I'm thinking I should use my Deco Art 24 karat gold, because I just actually finished hot Hamsa hand, and I used the Deco Art 24 karat gold on that, and I used a gold leafing pen, and let me tell you, this like was beautiful. You can see it if you go on my Instagram. I just posted a sold picture. I haven't varnished it yet, so I'll probably post one more picture before it's completely out of my hands. But yeah, I think I might use some gold on this berry. Maybe even some silver, but I just feel like this berry is really screaming, I need gold, give me gold. I think there's some humans screaming that too. All right. So got those guys going. I'm gonna let them dry for a bit longer before I give them their next coat. And now, depending on, yeah, that's still tacky. So, yeah, that's what I'm working on. And I don't know if anybody, like, so I have this one project that's been sitting on my desk. This is what I actually cut my hand and stabbed my hand on, so if you guys can see this. So this, I painted this beautiful tree and then this beautiful blue, like windy looking background. And then I had dried some flowers and I resined them on. Well, after I put the resin on, I think the flowers, maybe they were still a little wet. I'm not sure, but they stuck to the blue. And so they looked like they were kind of like they had black spots. So I actually cut all the flowers out. And meanwhile, I cut my thumb that is pretty healed. And so then what I did, after I got smart about how to cut it, I colored some resin and I poured it where the flower petals had been. And then of course I got these big blobs, as you can see on here. I got these big, huge blobs. So now I'm heating this back up and cutting the blobs the blob pieces out between the petals. And then I'm going to kind of color that, and then I'm going to pour more resin on it again. And hopefully this will be a project I can hang on my wall. I don't know if I'm going to sell it, just because it's like one of those things where it's like, it was such a pain in the ass that I must keep it if I get it right. So we'll see. But I think that's all for tonight. I'm going to go ahead and post this so you guys can have something for Friday art night. I will be back on Tuesday with a Tuesday night art night video. I believe I'm going to be making another feather with some of my this little piggy pigments. My sister who lives in Florida, she has a bathroom recently remodeled that she thinks would look good with a peacock feather. So, but the base of the peacock feather I painted the other day did not match her bathroom. It would have been way too bright. So doing a custom order for her and getting that out. So you probably will see me doing that, and maybe even catching up on some more of these ornaments. But it was fun, and I hope everybody has a good, safe, wonderful, awesome weekend. Go in love with peace and kindness, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.